Hey guys, it's Fleccas. This week we're in El Paso, Texas for the Wallathon. We're here to crowdsource some funds to get the wall built on private property. Let's find out how we, the American people, can get this wall built. Fleccas Talks.
Over here's El Paso, Texas. They have a wall. That's a pretty good wall, but it just kind of stops. Now, one of the barriers is supposed to be the Rio Grande River, but you can see that it's pretty passable. What happened is that they thought that this was basically impassable. In the old days, it used to be. Remember, the cartels have made a business of this. So the cartels are running both drugs through here and particularly people. Remember, sex trafficking and human trafficking is a higher margin business for the cartels than even drugs. And so what drove this as being kind of a highway for the cartels was the fact that they saw this as it didn't have a wall.
The Corps of Engineers said that we could never build this. It wasn't economically feasible or just not possible, and it didn't stop enough trafficking. Well, we stopped 8,000 people to 30,000 people a month. 400 people a night were coming through here on average. There were 19 footpaths. There are now no longer any footpaths. We cut off 19 drug trails from the Sinaloa cartel. It's over. It's done. There have been no crossings in 24 days.
The one thing about this wall, it's helping people in Mexico as much as helping people in the United States. The people in Mexico are being terrorized by these cartels. The cartels, we're more at war, I think, with the cartels here in the United States than we are with the Taliban in Afghanistan. And I say that as a Navy veteran that thinks our troops over there are doing a tremendous job. But right here, we've got the cartels are every bit as bad as the Taliban as far as trying to destroy the United States of America. And so we're helping the people in Mexico because this basically breaks the cartels.
We're going over to the sister side now, which is Anapra, where the wall that was built in '91 comes to an end, and they're funneling through that by the thousands.
Before they started construction of the wall, before they showed up, I was catching between 50 and 150 illegals a day.
What did you do? What was the protocol once you got them?
I make them sit down. I don't force them. I don't put my hands on them or anything like that. But I make them wait, and I call Border Patrol. Border Patrol comes and picks them up.
Here's the end of the wall, guys. Nothing to stop anybody. Fences and walls, whatever you want to call it, work. You're not going to stop everybody. We're not trying to stop everybody. This is a deterrent for the masses. The masses are what's going to destroy the country. It's as simple as that.
They would come through. They would steal. They would vandalize. I've had tires slashed. They've tried to kill my dog. They've thrown rocks at me. They've thrown rocks at her. I caught a guy one day trying to kill her with a piece of pipe. I bought a 10-foot by 20-foot canopy one day so I could sit out and watch my daughter ride her bike around. I had it 4 hours. Bought a grill that same summer. We had it 2 weeks, and it all went across the border. They physically attack us. As I was telling you before, they throw these rocks and people don't see a problem with that. What they don't realize is how big these rocks are. I've got a scar on my shin the size of a grapefruit from one of these rocks.
What are some of the experiences you've had with people maybe coming across, or what have you seen that's really kind of blown your mind?
Well, the first night blew my mind. And I was used to it. I wasn't used to it at that scale. When the equipment started to come in on night number 2, it went down to 270 people. Night number 3, it went to 70. Night number 4 is at 30, and then we've had no intrusion since then. Nobody's crossed our area. The worst couple of things, catching 7 Syrians at the gate before we put up the gate and the wall, that really is bad. What are Syrian nationals doing coming through the Mexican border? They're not coming to kiss your sister.
So many of these criminals are deported, and the position I'm in and the stories that I hear that's not on mainstream media is some of these criminals have come back 7, 8, 13, 16, 27 times, and they've killed another American citizen. This is why this is so important.
Over here is Juarez, Mexico. That's one of the most dangerous cities in the world. And it's become dangerous over the last few years because of the cartels. The cartels have made this one of the most dangerous, murder capitals. I think it's 36th or 37th in the world on per capita homicides, and the cartels basically run the city today.
People have to wake up. The country's, you have to do something. The government's inept. The Congress, Pelosi, Schumer, and both sides of the aisle in reality aren't doing a thing about this. Nothing. So the people have to.
There's so much danger. I've got a daughter. She used to come out here and spend weekends with me, but in the last 3 or 4 months, she's been out here 2 or 3 times. It's just not safe to even have my daughter out here. This is American soil. You shouldn't have to live like this in America.
If we don't do something, the nation's going to fail. It won't be here. And that's the way it's headed. We're not servants, we're free people. We're the last free nation on the planet. The worst thing about all this, the drugs are killing the children, the women, and this is, I don't even know if you can put it on tape, but there's not one woman that crosses this border older than 11 years old that doesn't get raped. And when I say raped, I don't mean just raped by a 16-year-old kid. I mean 20, 30 guys. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful.
Illegal aliens are from every country in this world. This is about people being illegally present in our country, ignoring our immigration laws. It's all about our politicians not fighting for the sovereignty of our country and protecting American citizens. My son became collateral damage in this political fight in Washington of their hate for our president and not wanting to get something done.
The Democrats don't want to fix this problem, and the rest of the country, they don't see it for what it really is. I can give you numbers all day long, and that means nothing. The people that are against this wall and think this is racist, they need to come here and look and see for themselves. This has nothing to do with race. This has to do with a sovereign nation rights.
President Trump is been fought by everybody, by the establishment, the established order, the establishment Republicans, the Democrats. He's now, they're tied up in the courts. They're trying to build, I think, 800 miles of wall. I think there's 1,200 miles that have to be built, 800 miles of wall. They're actually building as we speak. There's certain areas and private property that are not included in the government's program. That's where we're like special forces. We're doing those niches that has been overlooked by the government because they're building wide swaths of wall, which they need to build, and they need to build as rapidly as possible. This is just to augment President Trump and the government's program. But you'll see in areas where they don't think it can be built, we can get private property, and we can if we continue to get donations. Right, we got $24 million in the first couple of months. We spent about 6 to 8 here. We've got much more we want to build on the other side to connect. We want to build up this wall. Plus, we've got about 10 other projects in places like Texas, Arizona, California, and New Mexico. And so we're going to try to build as much as we more money we raise, the more wall we can build.
The biggest thing that got me is I become friends with the angel families and angel parents. When you sit with someone who's had their son killed by a drunk driver or had their son shot in the face because he couldn't count change fast enough, killed by illegals, it'll change the entire way you feel.
On May 12, 2014, my son was driving home from work, and a drunk, repeat illegal alien criminal, he was 3 times the legal limit drunk, high on meth. He had driven over 35 miles the wrong way on the freeway in Phoenix and slammed head-on into my son, killing him. And, finding out the leniency that was shown to this man who had already committed crimes and was just given a slap on the wrist and left just to be in our country and commit another crime and, kill my son, that's what catapulted me into this fight. Angel families have experienced ultimate loss. It's nothing that I want to wish on anybody, and there's nothing I can say or any of the angel families can say or do, or any of the board members or members of this organization to prevent, to bring my son back, to bring any of our loved ones back. But hopefully something that we say or do will prevent it from happening to another American family, and this is going to be a huge deterrent.
2 weeks ago, this is where 1,032 people came running through. We're going to stop. We're going to take a look. This is cartel. This is all cartel. If you're out here at night by yourself, mister, you better be a pretty tough individual.
Wow.
Yeah, all that.
So this is open?
See that rise right there? Last Saturday, we were over here working, doing GIS locations. We had 8 of them come after us with AK-47s. We got it on tape and we got it on picture film, snapshots.
Uh-huh.
We just haven't released it yet. They were chasing my truck. They were chasing me. They know who I am. They want my ass.
The Army Corps of Engineers said this thing is almost too impossible to build. And that's where we were able to have the opportunity to do it with a private construction. We did it for about $6.5–7 million. This entire wall, all the way from the Rio Grande River to up here to into the cliff of the beginning of Mount Cristo Rey, was basically done in 72 hours.
Currently, like the border wall we're looking at now, they pay $17 million a flat mile. We built a mountain mile, half a mile for less than what they pay on flat ground, and we gave them a highway, and we gave them fiber optics, and we gave them lighting, and we gave them audio deterrence, and we gave them everything they wanted, Connex huts, water retention, everything.
All right, good wall. Hard to climb.
We're trying to explain how critical every dollar is to success, and they have no idea the gratitude of everybody that's watching and everybody that's doing. This is a serious issue. This is the same as the Transcontinental Railroad. This is Americans saying we've had enough of your bull. We are going forward, and we're going to do it ourselves because you're inept. You know, the worst thing you'd be told when you're doing any type of job is you're inept. Well, Congress is inept.
Yeah, we gotta hit those links. WeBuildTheWall.us. Donate whatever you can. I'm gonna donate $100. Then you get a brick with your name on it.
$100, you get your name forever. You're not going to live forever. Your name's going to be on top of the mountain. Brian KOLFAGE, he's got his Purple Heart up there. I'm not leaving Brian on the mountain alone. I'm kicking in $100. I want my name up there with him as well. I'm not going to leave him in the snow. I'm not going to leave him in the rain. I'm going to be up there with Brian because I'm not going to be here forever.
Absolutely.
My brick will be.
As will mine. So get to WeBuildTheWall.us. Donate what you can. If everyone watching this video donates a good amount, we can really put a dent in this problem and get some more wall built directly. Privatizing the wall is the best idea. Congress isn't helping us. Democrats want people suffering so they can blame it on Trump. This is the only way to get around it. Donate. Links are in the bio. This has been a fantastic experience so far. I live in downtown Los Angeles. I live right near Skid Row, so I'm very familiar with the government not prioritizing the American citizens. It's kind of the recurring theme we see here. I think as long as we keep this going forward in the next few days, we can really make a difference and show Americans that the power does lie with the people.
I was taught if you are not happy with the way the situation's going, get up a little earlier and get at it a little harder. Make it happen.
We got wall merch.
Mexico's being overrun, and nobody realizes the Mexican side of the story. We come here on the weekends. They're coming from Guadalajara. They're coming from busloads taking a picture in front of the wall because the Mexican people are wait a minute. The American people are doing this on their own. Okay, we need to do it too. There's a fever catching on. Nationalism is okay, and good fences make good neighbors. Just simple as that.
Absolutely.